This is the first.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is the Holy Fire Hangout. My name is Will Mitchell. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher from Rochester, New York, and I specialize in Usui Holy Fire Reiki. Tonight we're going to talk about our highest bliss. So it's pretty exciting for me. I love talking about manifestation and talking about highest bliss. So today in the Hangout, we have Michelle and John and Sheldon and Valerie. So we're going to go over an overview of Reiki, the Reiki ideals, the Holy Fire, and the three heavens. What's the difference between meditation and a Holy Fire meditation experience? And then we'll have an open discussion about highest bliss, whatever it means to you. Reiki. What is Reiki? Reiki is a Japanese relaxation technique that also promotes healing. Most of the time it's done by the practitioner laying the hands on the client, and energy flows through the practitioner to the client. Reiki is made up of the two Japanese words rei and ki, where rei means divine or spiritual and ki means energy or life force energy. So Reiki means universal life force energy. Now Makao Usui, who gifted us with Reiki, gave us the original Reiki ideals, and he called it the secret art of inviting happiness, the miraculous medicine for all diseases. Just for today, do not anger, do not worry, and be filled with gratitude. Devote yourself to your work, be kind to people. He asked us to put our hands together in prayer every morning and every evening and chant these words with our mouths and chant these words to our hearts. Now, Holy Fire Reiki is an evolution in Reiki. The Holy Fire is that burning in your heart. It's your highest level of excitement, your highest bliss, which is it's your connection to it as well. And it's this and much, much more. Holy Fire Reiki, it's a fairly recent evolution in Reiki, and it's both powerful and gentle. It provides purification, healing, and guidance. Holy Fire Reiki is noticeably more refined and comes from a higher level of consciousness. It is unlimited. In Holy Fire Reiki, we teach of the three heavens. In the first heaven, it's our 3D universe. It is the planet, it's the stars, it's the trees, the air we breathe, the plants, the animals. The second heaven is everything that's non-physical, dualistic, and ego-based. The third heaven, it's beyond ego and clear expressions of God's unlimited love, awareness, and power. It always respects free will. Now, I found that there's a difference between meditation and a Holy Fire meditation experience. In meditation, I was taught that to sit comfortably and sit in a bliss, focus on the mantra and focus on my breath. And when a stray thought comes in, acknowledge the thought and simply return your attention or my attention back to the mantra and my breathing. Some of those stray thoughts might be, what am I going to make for dinner tonight? When am I going to get my laundry done? What kind of groceries am I going to pick up from the store? Anything on my to-do list, things like that. Well, with the Holy Fire meditation experience, the same rules apply, that you focus on the visualization, and if a stray thought comes in, simply return your attention back to the visualization. If one of the thoughts that come in isn't one of the things that are on your to-do list, or isn't what am I going to make for dinner, it's the holy fire talking to you and communicating with you. Allow those thoughts to come through and allow that experience to happen and allow the holy fire to take you on your experience. Now I'd like to open it up to a discussion on the highest bliss. If anyone has any opinions on highest bliss.
So far, what I've learned is that our mind can't comprehend our absolute highest bliss, but we can go higher and higher in our progression as we learn. So our highest bliss in one moment is a lot lower than our highest bliss in the next moment. And so it's not that it's better, it's just that it's more connected with who we are and we learn that. And that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Sheldon. Anyone else?
My highest bliss at this point in my life is knowing that my children are raised and they're good people. And, that I guess that about covers it. Thanks.
I think I would say my highest bliss is related to self-love, self-care, doing what feels good to me. No attachment to the outside, like other people's stuff, like how I feel about me, that I'm joyful and proud of or okay with or whatever. I'm comfortable with how I relate to the world and the things I do in the world. And I don't need somebody else's opinion to inform me of who I need to be.
And I guess my experience that I've had in meditation of what I would call my highest bliss would be the infinite nature of my beingness. Absolute perfection of the love that I am, and that it is an infinite expression of my truth. Eternal, needs nothing, and is sufficient unto itself, and revels in its expression.
Wow, I'm going to have to think about that one for a while. I love it. Do you think your highest bliss can change from moment to moment?
If you're still talking to me, that's been my experience, yes. It seems to be determined by the amount of fear and the amount of what I would call my forgetfulness. I forget my truth. I've been meditating about 17 years now, and so it took quite a while to have what I would call my transcendent experiences. But I'm by no means firm in the experience of that all the time.
Do you have to meditate to experience your highest bliss?
Oh, that's one of the reasons I'm here, is because I allowed myself to fall back into the Maya very firmly. I have forgotten very greatly, so I am seeking along different channels to return to a truth I have already experienced.
Nice. Nice.
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. I already pushed the start broadcast button. So if you wanted to say what you wanted to say then.
No, I was just unfamiliar with how this went down, since this is my first time.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
However it will be perfect.
Absolutely. So we're having the open discussion on highest bliss. And then after a while, when we're done discussing it, we'll do a holy fire meditation experience for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I lead a 2-minute visualization, and then the holy fire takes you on an experience. And then if you feel compelled, you can write about it in your journal, or write about it online, and then we talk about it. So I experienced my highest bliss several times today. Right now I get to talk about Holy Fire Reiki, so that's pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned. It rained today. I experienced that. And that was totally awesome because it was long overdue. I experienced my highest bliss while running today, and that was awesome. And while eating dinner tonight, it was pretty darn good.
What'd you have for dinner?
I splurged and went to Moe's today. Moe's Original Southwest. Got a burrito.
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow that doesn't resonate for my bliss, but whatever.
And it doesn't have to. Today, at dinner time, it was my highest bliss.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't matter if the contents of my burrito sounded good to you.
I know, right? That's exactly what I was talking about.
Uh-huh.
Well, then I'd like to add to my bliss throughout the day today.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, well, my dog is feeling better, so that's a really happy thing for me. So she was able to come outside and lay on the porch while I was able to finally take care of my plants that are in the yard and connect with Mother Earth and send some love and healing her way. And listen to the birds and see the squirrels, and it became a very blissful day. So I'm very thankful for that.
There you go. See, we can find bliss anywhere and everywhere in the smallest things. Now, when you're manifesting, how do you figure out what your highest bliss is? How do you decide what you're going to manifest? And how do you remain excited about it while you're doing that?
That's why I need to go to Mount Shasta. I don't know.
Very cool. Well, you're more than welcome to come with us.
So for me, when I'm out in the garden, like I said, I do the manifesting as far as that goes for a healthy planet. When I look outside and see this beautiful green grass from the rains we just got, and new flowers that are coming, and this year I have to say, they're like starting over instead of dying down completely. So that's a difference that I'm seeing in a lot of my flowers and herbs. It's like they're starting a whole new cycle now, and they've never done that before. So maybe I'm manifesting a longer summer, and I don't know, something's changing there. That's all I can say. Maybe it's the energy, but I feel like I'm manifesting it when I'm out there.
There you go. And if you got second blooms in your garden, would that be awesome for you?
Well, I always have second blooms because I do the trim back, you know.
Right.
But this year it's like the whole plants that usually die back at the end of the year, like now in the fall, are like renewing and growing again from the bottom like they would be in the spring.
Right.
So it's really a different year. And I've gardened for many years, I've just never seen that before. I was just telling Phil when he got home, I was like amazed at that because I've never seen it before. So I don't know, something in the air is definitely different, and I feel it when I'm out there. That's all I can say.
Very nice.
So, Will, a consideration or maybe some input. So what I found, my daughter came to live with me, and that I'm used to kind of like following my highest bliss, but it's easy because I'm only in my own cloistered space with only my energy in it.
Yes.
Now, what I like to find is bliss even with her energy. And so there's a strange kind of negotiation happening in my chakras. um, I don't know. Other than, sitting with it, sitting with what I feel in my body, I miss it. Um, it's just much easier. I don't have outside influences.
Gotcha.
Not realistic, but
Have you tried manifesting an awesome relationship with her?
that's my intention. Actually, I have a question about that because I was kind of trying to think of what I would like to manifest, and so I was like, I would like to manifest this relationship turning out like, us healing our things, and like, and then I thought, am I even allowed to do that? Like, put something like my desire onto another person?
You're allowed to manifest anything that you wish. There's no right or wrong in whatever you choose to manifest. That's what I believe. But I found that I'm more successful in my manifestations if I generically describe what I want and don't limit the universe on how it's going to deliver it to me.
Yes.
And if I try to manifest things like I want an awesome relationship with my daughter,
Right.
then I concentrate on that.
Right.
And I can concentrate on things that I have control over, how I influence the relationship. But if I don't limit the relationship on her point, on her end,
Right.
and accept it for what it is,
Yes.
then I'm allowing the universe to more avenues to come deliver the awesomeness to me.
Thank you for that.
Can I ask, Michelle, how old is your daughter?
26.
Ah, my son is 26. They are very, what do you want to say, demanding of your time at that age. My son lives in San Diego and still calls 3 times a day, at least, every day. And, it's like I guess he thinks I'm not doing anything else, so I can be on the phone with him for sometimes a half hour to an hour at a time. And he drives me crazy. I love him dearly, don't get me wrong. He's a wonderful guy. But wow, I don't know how to tell him to please stop calling so many times.
I think you
Kind of
just did.
words.
Maybe I could manifest that.
Like for 10 minutes a day. I don't know. I'm all about boundaries. So, I don't know. My daughter was just in a kind of a very bleak place, and I have a tight spiritual community where I live, and she's got gifts, and I just need to introduce her to people who can mentor her, and like divorce myself from it, but yet be available because actually I've had a session with Alma Talk, and we have trust um, and respect karma to heal. So it's been really beautiful. It's been painful. There's been a lot of crying and a lot of truth, and it's just different. It's just different. It's gone from, oh, I'm like totally happy, joyous, free, kind of, and I'm in my own little nice bubble without having to attend to these really important old wounds, you know. So, yeah. I mean, I go through the day really just trying to counterbalance that heaviness in my solar plexus, you know, with all is well, all is well, all is well. And that doesn't really shift it all that much. It takes my brain off maybe specifics, but yeah, so I really needed this tonight. This is my highest bliss of the day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Valerie, I heard that they make this thing called voicemail.
Oh
So-
yeah, you know, I actually don't take my phone outside with me, you know, because I like the peace and quiet of not being interrupted when I'm outside. But anyway, so he will actually even call his dad at work and say, "Do you know where Mom is?" And Phil's like, "How would I know? I'm at work. Is she okay?" For crying out loud, he drives me crazy. I am not kidding you. It's just a little bit crazy. He's just a little too attached, you know? And I've been trying to like cut that string, if you know what I'm saying, by leaving the phone in the house and stuff. But yeah, he'll message me and all kinds of stuff. How come you never answer your phone? Where are you? Are you okay?
I believe they're called apron strings.
I believe they are too. You know, he's 2,000 miles away, so if there was anything else I could do, I would. You know, he's out there somewhat alone. So I understand that he hasn't met a lot of people yet. So, I mean, this first time away from home, it's a long ways. I've been pretty understanding about it, but now it's just kind of, we're working on almost 3 years here. So now it's starting to get on my nerves. I've been very patient. Don't misunderstand me. This isn't a new thing. So yeah, I don't know if he'll ever let me cut those strings, but they definitely need to be, for sure.
Okay. Well, you can always ask the Holy Fire for advice.
There you go.
Yes.
My highest bliss would be if he could be happy where he's at, I think, and not have to think about Mom all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a good job. He's, you know, busy all the time. I don't even know how he finds time to call me sometimes, but he does.
So why don't you tell him right now that you love him, and we'll manifest that he sees the video. You tell him exactly what you want to tell him right now, that you don't have the guts to tell him when you're talking to him on the phone. How about
Yeah,
that?
well, I would just say that I love you very much, and I know that you're strong enough to handle being where you're at without having to talk to me every day. And he does have his girlfriend, Sarah, there. So I would say try talking to your girlfriend more about these things instead of your mom. You know? I don't know if that's too harsh, but
I don't think so. And now
he
that
probably would. He'd probably be very hurt feelings over that.
well, then say I love you again.
Yeah. I mean, I tell him all the time I love him. He knows how much I love him and how proud I am of him, and I so am. I mean, he's done so much for his career. It's awesome. It's just, and he shows so much leadership skills, you know. But I just want him to apply it to his own life, too, not just on the job.
Nice. Well said. Now we'll manifest that he sees the video now, and he'll get the hint that Mom loves him, but she raised a big boy.
Exactly, exactly. My daughter is away, too, you know, and lives in Oregon, but absolutely nothing like that, you know. It's maybe once a month she'll give me a call, yeah, but she'll send me things, you know what I mean, Facebook or whatever. But we don't talk face to or on the phone even, but maybe once a month. But we had rather a tumultuous relationship, but it's doing better now. Now that she's an adult, we can be friends instead of fighting all the time.
Sheldon, do you have an opinion on this?
On what specifically?
I just haven't heard your voice in a while. I missed you, Sheldon.
Yeah, Sheldon,
I
how old
missed
are
you
you?
too.
How old are
I
you,
am
Sheldon?
19. My body is 19 years old,
Your
but
body's
I don't feel
19
that
years
way.
old. But you have a pretty
Yeah.
good relationship with your mom, right?
Yes, I have a very good relationship with my mom. She is exactly 30 years older than me. We have the
And you
same
still live there?
birthday.
You still live
Um,
with your mom?
I kind of not really. Like she comes here every day because she paints like outfits for like powwows or luggage or something cool like that with all those designs. And she likes to come here because of the creative energy. She lived here for a long time, and then I moved back out here after some situations. So now I've been living here pretty much by myself, and you know, I've reconnected with myself on the best level I have so far in this life. And with that, my relationship with my whole entire family has improved greatly because I am not afraid to express myself or my truth or, you know, show them that, you know, that I don't fully agree with what they do sometimes. But I do by, excuse me, by understanding myself. I highly respect free will because when we finally get out of ignorance as a collective, we'll spend more time connected than separated as long as time exists. And so like we should embrace the separation that we have currently, even though it seems a bit backwards sometimes. We should respect it.
Well said, Sheldon.
Thank you. I just still kind of in the meditative state from earlier.
It,
For yeah, I took a shower, intended only on my regular like 7 minutes, and then I was thinking about channeling music, like having singing galactic language, and then I thought about it so much I was like, I'm just gonna try it, and then I like ended up taking a 20-minute shower because I was like chanting and doing lots of cool voice things.
nice.
And then after that, I decided to meditate and then channel, and I connected with a blue avian, but he wanted me to focus on my breath more because I don't breathe very heavily. So yeah, so I forgot where I was going with this, so I'll just leave it at that.
Awesome. You're just speaking from the heart. That's beautiful to hear.
Thank you. That is also my highest bliss, to reconnect with who I am, because at this point, like being by myself so much, I realized that I trying to find a way to word this. I want to be a teacher in a way that I can display a connection so that others can see how beneficial it is to the collective, so they can at least be inspired by certain aspects, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Moms, did you hear what he said?
I'm gonna replay that later.
I was actually
Thank you
paying
very
a lot of
much.
attention. But you know what, Sheldon, I'd like to adopt you, but but then you'd probably call me too much. No, actually, My son doesn't think that way, Sheldon. I wish he did. But he is, graduated college, went into the business world, and he is really in a completely different world than I am. And that's the one thing that we really can't discuss right now because he thinks I've absolutely lost my mind. So that's where we're at.
Well, there's a very good reason why people aren't like me, because they have to be like themselves. So like that's the only thing you can do in life. Like literally the only thing you can do is be yourself.
Okay, so maybe not exactly like you, but have that frame of mind, put it that way. That would be nice if he would be awake enough to be able to see some of the things the same way.
So maybe
Give
the
it time. It'll probably happen.
about parenting is allowing, or even just being a human being, is allowing, knowing that everybody has their own journey. They have pre-decided what that's going to be, and even if I don't approve, it doesn't make it any less valid or any less important. It's just my preference sometimes.
Those are all great
Yes, I
points.
agree with that. Yeah.
You said
I
journey.
have
It's a journey.
I actually have two complete opposite children. Like my daughter is very much into the same things, as far as what things we study and that. And then she's an artist. So in that we do have a lot of commonalities, where my son and I actually get along better, and he's a complete opposite. So I don't know. It's just like I do appreciate and respect both of their choices, and definitely support them both um, as equally as I can, if you know what I mean, because uh, they're very competitive on that too. It does seem like every time one calls, the other one messages or something like that. It's always at the same times. Um, they both tell me I was a great mom to them because I did not push religion on them at all, and neither one of them have chosen church. And for one thing, Jeremy has really thanked me many times over for that choice. And then when he was in college, he took a few courses that enlightened him as to what religion was about. So I think I think in that respect, that's a good decision that parents should let their children decide what they want to be.
Over the past 5 minutes, I heard allow. I like that. Because to me, Reiki's all about allowing. I allow the Reiki energy to flow through me. I allow it to go where it needs to go, where it decides it's going to go, and I allow it to do its thing. Sometimes it sounds a little lofty. I'm allowing Reiki to go, but I'm like, it's going to do its thing anyway, so I might as well get out of its way. And I heard, he didn't use these exact terms, Sheldon, but I heard him, he's allowing respect to happen with his relationship with his mom. And he's not being judgmental, and she's not being judgmental about his choices. And I heard him say that even though he doesn't see eye to eye on everything, he's still living his truth, which is, sounds like it's really important to him. So are we ready to do a meditation experience?
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome back, Sheldon. We're about to do a Holy Fire meditation experience. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. All right, so everyone, take a moment. get relaxed, get comfortable. Now would be a good time to take a sip of water. Everyone get relaxed. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Breathe in, relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Breathe in, relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Imagine yourself in a forest. In this forest, there's lush vegetation. You can smell the humidity. It is filled with life, filled with flora and fauna. As you glance around, you see a path. You follow this path. It leads out of the forest. As you leave the forest, there is a light, warm summer rain falling. It feels good to the touch. As you walk along this path, you see a meadow up ahead. And in this meadow, there's a rock. You sit on this rock, and the rain is just gently falling on you. It's a nice, warm, comfortable rain. As you look up, the clouds part just enough for a little light to peek through. And this light is glistening off the raindrops. This is no ordinary light, as it's from the third heaven. Allow this light to enter your soul. Allow this light to take you on a journey. When you are ready, if you are guided to continue your experience, please do so. When you're ready, please bring your attention back to your fingers and toes. Wiggle them. Move your shoulders a little bit. Turn your focus to your breathing. Take in a deep breath. And release. When you're ready, bring your attention back to your eyes and slowly open them. If you feel the desire to write, you can write in your journal, you can write online. I'm going to write a little bit. I saw some interesting things, so I'm going to mute. But if anyone wishes to share before writing, please unmute and share.
I could probably go first if it's okay.
Totally.
All right.
Please.
For mine, it was kind of like a dream at first. I was flying around and I felt like I was a fairy. And then I kind of like was flying around like Peter Pan or something. And then I landed to care for these two boys. And they were pretty small. And then I kind of actually had one of them suspended in the air with both my hands over the top. And so that was kind of strange in a healing kind of manner. Yeah, I wasn't touching him at all. And then just before waking, I seen the other little boy's face, like he was waiting for his turn, but wasn't going to get it. So that was really different.
Did you get anything else on the fairies? Or were you...
No, I just felt like I was the fairy. So, yeah, no other fairies but me.
Nice. Anyone else? Okay, I have a little more I need to document.
What did you say?
I said I had a little bit more to type. Document.
Right, go ahead.
But if you wish to share, please do so.
I would like to wait, actually. Thank you.
Okay.
So I just got done with mine. I Usually I work visually, but when I meditate, it tends that I don't see things visually, but like through feelings and sounds and stuff. So what I just got done doing is I I was sitting on the rock, the light and the rain and stuff, and then I connected with uh, the earth, and I sang uh, first slowly, and it just kept getting faster and faster and more melodically complex, and it was really fun. And the main phrase, I guess I'll sing a little bit of it. Mahalaki wahicha, mahilaki wahicha, mahilaki wahicha, hey yahoo, hala halahuwe, amehaki lahicha, munihalahi wahikachi, amahu wahilahuwe, ha huwe, awe. It was like a lot like that, and like it start like my vowels changed with the energies I was feeling, like masculine, feminine, or high vibration, grounded vibration. It was very great, and I'm discovering that I connect with spirits greatly through music and tones, and that's very exciting. It's my highest excitement, you could say.
Nice. You're feeling something right now, Michelle. You can keep your eyes closed and still experience it if you're just glowing. That's all.
Is it my turn?
It's up to you.
I'm asking you.
Are you waiting for a permission slip?
I am waiting for a permission slip, yes.
I signed that permission slip.
Thank you. So, this was super fun for me. 'Cause I love rocks. And there just happens to be this epic cool rock in the middle of the field. So when you were talking about it's raining, so I'm a little cold, just a little chill, but then the sun comes out, so I can feel the chill bumps coming up on me as the sun starts to seep into my skin. Right? And then I'm realizing and luxuriating in my aloneness on this rock, my solitude. I love this rock now because I'm all by myself. And then I lean over the rock to do a back bend, and then I do like some gymnastics-y things, and then I'm like, hey, there's this cool grass, so I think I'll breed stuff because this is fun for me too. So I'm pretty much doing all the things I like to do, and then I decide, ooh, yoga would be good on this rock. And then somewhere over in the forest, out of the meadow, it is my perception there is something like a band of hyenas.
A band of what?
Like hyenas, something menacing.
Hyenas, gotcha.
Like something menacing, but I'm like, nope, this is my rock, and I'm having a good time. So until something like really makes itself known to me, I'm going to assume all is well, and I just play.
Nice. That was powerful. Did you notice how you allowed the menacing to be menacing and to stay elsewhere?
Yeah. Because I decided for myself that I was safe and that it would become apparent to me if I needed to be on guard. But until such time, I was going to continue to luxuriate in my funness.
Sounds like perfect advice for just about every situation.
It was really fun. It's very fun.
Awesome. It sounds like the torch has been passed.
Yeah, well, it was my first time, and I have to admit, I was having such a hard time hearing what you were saying in the guided part
Yeah.
that I wasn't able to actually get very deep into anything because I was concentrating more on what you're saying and not in what was within the meditation and within the visualization. So I just had a very nice, quiet meditation that allowed me to recognize some of my conditionality that I've been living within and placing expectations on myself and others, and that living within the shackles of my own fears, and allowed myself to breathe through that tonight.
Nice. Awesome. Can you hear me fine now?
You're fine now.
Yeah, you got real quiet.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
You're allowed to. Even you're allowed.
Oh, why, thank you. I got my permission slip signed.
There you go.
Mine actually was a perfect metaphor. It was kind of like, here's the instructions. You just do what you do. And you know that you could engage in that. You could willfully engage in having fear about that. Or you could do what you do and let that be there doing what it does. And until it becomes a thing, it is not a thing. Right. It's just in my head. So yeah, it's just in my head. So I'm attaching or I'm projecting.
Yes.
In real life, I'm projecting. But I could see in this meditation that it was really just fine. They were content. And I was content. And it could be that way. It could be that way if I chose.
That's wisdom right there. That was awesome. And
Yes,
you
sir.
stayed in your highest bliss, too. Go ahead, Sheldon.
I was just commenting that I very much enjoyed that. If you want me to elaborate, I can, I guess.
That would be great.
So, that was my heart that said that. I don't have anything to say necessarily, but from my experience, like I like how you introduced the idea of being in nature because we are like another Earth. Like all the plants are like another Earth. Like there's a lot of the same properties. Like there's a choice as to where the direction goes physically, and that's decided on a higher levels, the non-physical and above level. And so there are physics we deal with. So like we're not doing exactly every single thing we're doing physically. Like you automatically blink, there's like an algorithm in your hand that lets you move it in a certain way. You don't have to control every finger, they're linked in a way. And so like a lot of the physical universe is based on math and relatable algorithm, related algorithms that when you insert a variable from a higher dimension, it manifests into a end result that we see and experience. And so when we connect with nature, we get in touch with another part of ourself manifesting itself into itself because we are each all that is in our own individual respect. There's no such thing as movement necessarily. The experience of movement does exist. We are completely still. Our environment is what moves around us. Our perspective of all that is what moves around us. We are the center of our universe. Vedakyase.
Awesome.
I did not understand that at all. I have to.
All right. So
I have a long way to go.
I my left brain chipped in for that one, so I'll put it in another way. So it doesn't take effort for you to pick up a pen and drop it. Well, you don't
Depends who
do the
you are.
dropping. Wait, what?
It depends who you are.
Yeah, that's true.
If
But
you're a
I mean, like,
woodworker and somehow you lost all your fingers, it's hard to pick up that pen.
well, it depends if you have a ledge and your other hand.
Oh,
But anyway,
we digress.
pretty much like gravity has a very strong effect on us. Like, if you think about it, like if there was no gravity, our bodies wouldn't be designed this way. None of the plants would grow the way they do. All of our inventions are thanks to gravity, and so that's math pretty much. And we trying to keep it simple. So this math, it exists. We're not doing what the math is doing. We're sending things to the math, and the math takes care of it. So like, we don't need to experience jumping out of, or we don't need to do the falling part of jumping out of a plane. We just do the jumping part, and then we pull the parachute, and we don't like hold the parachute up. The air does that. If that makes sense. If that elaborates on what I was saying.
Yeah.
Did I strike the chord? Does it resonate?
Well, I see that you are really into math.
It's,
Not that I disagree. Everything is math. I understand that. It's just not a study. Like, I watched enough to know about its existence. I watched enough about sacred geometry and all that stuff to know, have a vague sense, just enough to be dangerous with it, but not, as obviously this is kind of something you love. So, but I understand the concept, yes.
yes. Well, thank you. I my my left brain really wants to express that part, that there's a mechanical part and then there's an organic choice part, and the mechanical part is the manifestation, the choice part is the consciousness, so to speak, and there's balance between them. Our science is flawed fundamentally because they believe in the mechanical universe and the objective universe, but there's no such thing as an objective universe because we're each having our own subjective agreed upon experience of reality. And I hope that made sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Okay, so I love that you had that experience, Sheldon, because I had, we'll call it a similar experience.
Okay.
I thought mine was pretty interesting. So I was taken immediately by the holy fire and the white light, and I started becoming luminous, and I started floating up. Um, and then when I got to the treetop level, I started moving horizontally, and I took on the form of an eagle, and I started to soar. And it was really cool flying above the trees and looking down, and then I kept flying up and up and up and out of the Earth's atmosphere, and then flying off in space and out of the solar system. And there was this bright light, which I can only assume is in the center of the universe. And I got to the center of the universe, and it took a couple of tries with gravity affecting to enter the light at the center of the universe. And once I got there, I was sitting there with the eagle, and it's like I came out of the eagle and the eagle became a cloak on me. And then the eagle then merged with me on the inside. So I am the eagle and the eagle is me. And we sat there for a while, or I was, we all were, the center of the universe. And then I said, oh, wow, I am the light of the universe. Cool. This is my universe. I get to do with it whatever I want. I can make everybody be in the bliss all the time. Oh, but what fun would that be? Because the universe is already perfect. Everybody is doing what they're choosing. They're already doing that, and everybody's learning, and the whole universe is expanding. So I don't need to change a thing. Then I got to experience what it was like to be a raindrop. And then my being the raindrop then dropped into a pond. And it took a while to have this with the surface tension of the pond and the surface tension of the raindrop. It took a while for my raindrop to merge with the pond. And then I started sinking to the bottom of the pond. And then I realized, gee, well, what would happen to my raindrop once the surface tension broke is all the molecules inside the raindrop would then, how could I keep track of the rest of my molecules inside this raindrop? So then I became one water molecule, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. And then I said, hey, well, why would I be a hog and be 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen? Why don't I just be 1 part hydrogen? And then I can have my buddy, the other hydrogen molecule, and my other buddy, the oxygen molecule, and we're bound together. And then I saw this mad scientist come and pick up a beaker full of the water, and my molecule, along with my buddy, 2 buddies, are in this beaker, and we get this experiment where we get separated from each other. The bonds got broken. And then somehow my hydrogen atom got to be tossed into a large hadron collider, and it got smashed with other atoms, and I was blown apart into my constituent subatomic particles. Okay, well, which one do I want to be? It didn't matter. I picked one. I don't know the names of the subatomic particles. So I picked one, and that was it. It's just like, I am now the smallest thing that's possible. Cool. And now the smallest thing I just imagined, oh, what would happen if I were floating out in space? Oh, I see myself being sucked into a black hole. Oh, interesting. And then I got what I considered to be the center and the bottom of the black hole, but it was continually falling. And it's just like, oh, it's just nice and squishy down here, but I'm continuing to fall. And then I go, well, how do I, a subatomic particle, get out of this black hole? Oh, well, all I need to do is generate a force that is greater than in the opposite direction. That's all I need to do. So I needed to make a bigger black hole on the other side, pulling me out of this black hole. And as soon as I got on the outside, I said, oh, this now bigger black hole just disappears. And now I'm floating along in space all by myself, lonely. There's no other subatomic particle around me. And so I imagine this is what's going to happen to our physical universe when, because I hear it's all spreading apart. And what happens when all the subatomic particles get so far apart that they don't interact with one another? What do? I'm just lonely floating out in space with all these other subatomic particles that are so far away. What do I need to do? Do I need to wait for another one to come along so that I can interact with it somehow according to the laws of the physical universe? So then I said to myself, hey, I can use my will and my desire, and I can choose to do something. I can choose to interact with myself. I can choose to expand. And right then, it's like my mind blew and I created a big bang all by myself and started the whole process all over again. Yeah, I'm going to have some freaky dreams tonight because I ate pork on the inside of my burrito.
I'll do this again. I'll make sure I eat a burrito.
Yes.
What would it take to get an epic, like, yeah, that was
That was like I was out smoking something before.
fitting. Intense.
So glad you recorded this because my connection timed out while you were telling about your story. And so I missed the last part, and then all of a sudden you're talking about burritos, so I just want to see the space in between that.
Yes.
There's the burritos.
Yes. So where did you leave?
You were talking about how you were a subatomic particle in space. The last word you said was lonely.
So I got out of the black hole, yes? Did I talk
Yes.
about the black hole? Okay. So
It
I got
disappeared
out
right
of
behind you.
it did. I chose to create a super black hole that's bigger than the one that was sucking me in. So that allowed me to get out of the black hole, and then I was lonely. You're correct. And so I was lonely as a subatomic particle in space, and with the entropy of the universe, that all the particles are getting further and further apart, that I started to get lonely because what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just wait around for another subatomic particle to get close enough so that the laws of the physical universe will allow me to interact with it or something else? And then I said, no, I don't need to. I can choose to interact with myself. I can use my will, my consciousness and my will to decide what I'm going to do. And at that point, I decided to exist. And I decided to be more than one subatomic particle. And my mind blew, and I created a Big Bang. Started the whole thing all over again.
Damn.
Exactly. And then I said, that's what having pork in a burrito does for me.
Okay, so that's where the burrito came in.
Yes.
I thought you chose to be a burrito.
Well, I did. That was at dinner time.
Also really cool. And spiritual.
Yeah, I don't know if it was spiritual, but I like the choice part. I liked that I got to experience different things and that I wanted to choose something smaller and smaller and smaller. I liked how I experienced that when I was the center of the universe and I decided I had control to do whatever I wanted, that I thought the universe was perfect the way it was. That was awesome for me. Because I can allow people to be angry. I can allow people to not get along. I can allow, I mean, it's not a choice I have to make. I can exist with it, which was, it's freeing.
So I have
Go ahead.
I find it interesting that you are the center of the universe in this experience, and you find yourself lonely.
See? So there's a subatomic particle all by itself.
Okay, you were lonely as a subatomic particle all by yourself. So I thought that was interesting.
Yes. I think it's interesting too.
I
Like,
think it's interesting also.
well, I think it's awesome too. It must be like just the creations need to be part of, not singular. Although I had such a different experience because I was enjoying all my aloneness, solitude. So the juxtaposition is interesting.
Yes, you were enjoying your aloneness. I like that. So we have several common themes amongst our visualizations, our experiences, which is interesting.
This would be like really awesome if we were all in person as well, because then our fields would eclipse, if that's the right word. You know, it'd create the that one shape.
Valerie says, my son just called again. I made his dad talk to him. Exactly. Love you, Valerie. Sheldon, might I suggest, based on your words earlier, that there is no real separation between us, in that you are experiencing our energy fields right now. Even if you are experiencing the separation that you talked about as well, the holy fire enables us to experience each other's energies. All you need to do is decide and choose to.
So you're
Well, thank you.
So you're welcome, or I'm sorry.
How about and?
Depending on how my energy affects.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like, I'm just not gonna say a word. I'll just keep it to emotions, and the viewers are just gonna have to guess on what's going on.
They'll have to connect in with you to feel, to empathize.
I guess that's true, because even if you're watching this in the archives, you can still participate and connect with us. There's no time, really. There's just the experience. So, you know, someone in like 2048 could like listen to this in their archive and be like, "Wow, they were pretty cool back then. I wish I could go back there." And then 10 years later, Time Machine comes out, and then they do. I don't know. That's just my imagination going now.
That totally works. It's my intent that the energy that we're creating is embedded in the video, that the Holy Fire will embed this energy in the video so that anybody who watches this at some later point in time, it could be next week, next year, or several centuries from now, that they can come and hang with us. They can experience the Holy Fire. Exactly. Dude.
Awesomeness.
Mahalo.
Aloha.
I'm glad your dog is
Luau.
feeling better.
Actually, since studying Reiki, and kind of, I don't know if you watch MatCon, but he kind of says, like, as I speak, this energy comes from me to you. And so energy is energy. And there's no really confinement on it. Like, so what you're saying, I set my intention that this is, and so it is.
And so it is. It's one of my favorite sayings.
So it is absolutely, I mean, I've watched any number of things that resonate with me, that you can feel something like beyond like a mental really needed this.
It is my highest bliss.
You know what? I totally forgot it was tonight. But like when I came in, I was just like ready for it to be. So maybe I manifested it in a strange way.
You did. You co-created this with me.
It's been a long week taking care of little Miss Bella here. We still have to give her IVs and that kind of thing. So, yeah, the acute kidney failure is something that we're going to have to deal with for a little while. But she is a little more perky than what she was. That part's awesome.
Yes.
Just enough energy to chase a squirrel. You gotta love that.
Yes.
Nice.
Squirrel likes it too.
Oh my God, Will.
Yes?
So there's this black squirrel. I live in Virginia, and this town, there's black squirrels, like a black cat. So they're really cool looking. But I've had one in my backyard. There's only one. And the other night, Brooke and I processed some stuff. And black squirrel, first time ever, came up on the porch, sat at her feet. It was so cool. He was just hanging out. He wasn't scared. He was just like, hi, I'm a present for you.
Nice.
Very cool.
Excellent. So I think we can end the broadcast. How's that? And we can hang for a little bit afterwards if you wish.
That'd be cool. That will be cool. Will.
Well, dun-dun-dun.
So I thank you for joining me today for the Holy Fire Hangout, Highest Bliss. I appreciate all the discussions. I appreciate the energy that has been put into this. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for watching next week. Thank you for watching several generations from now from the historical archives. Remember that you are divine, and just for today, unlimit yourself. Thank you for joining me. I'm Will Mitchell, a Reiki Master Teacher from Rochester, New York. Namaste.
Stay.
Medakya Asi.